All right, let's start with the Wisconsin win over Indiana because that's what we just got done watching, Tate. For the second time this season, the Indiana Hoosiers had Wisconsin on the ropes, and they let them off the hook. Dennis Green voice pounding the table. It is – I obviously was laying it on thick in the intro to say that Indiana basketball is dead, but I'm not sure how obvious that is because this is – as I was watching this unfold, and you know, shout out to Wisconsin. We can talk about how good they – like, the Indiana lost this game. I don't feel like Wisconsin won this game.
No, Indiana was up the entire game, and it seemed like the signature win that they really needed now to make sure they were on the better side of the bubble.
They are comfortably in the tournament. They were comfortably.
They were.
Like
they were. And not to say losing it at home to Wisconsin is a bad thing, but
it's not.
They needed to win this.
You got to start winning some games. Yeah. And what's frustrating is that the Indiana side of it, and I promise at some point we'll talk about how good Wisconsin was and Brad and all that. But what's frustrating is it's not that Indiana's losing, Tate. It's how they're losing. It's that this Indiana team looks exactly like an Archie Miller team. They have reverted back to their old ways. As the season progresses and the pressure gets turned up, and Indiana finds itself in a familiar position of being thrown into bubble discussions. In the past they've been on the wrong side. This time they're on the right side for now.
Yeah.
But it's a familiar feeling of like, shit, here it comes. Oh no, it's happening again. As all that is happening, Indiana has reverted back to their old ways of just relying on
feed Trace Jackson Davis.
Every time you catch the ball to look to Trace Jackson Davis.
Right there.
And then it like snowballs because Trace Jackson Davis is amazing. And you look at a game like tonight, you're like, yeah, no kidding. Why would they not give the ball
30, 8, and 6? Yeah. Why would you not give him the ball?
Keep feeding him. So then they keep feeding him, and then every so often they swing it to Trey Galloway, and he's wide open. He's like, what do I do? What do I do with this? He throws it out.
That's about how he shot it. I mean, that's how it hit the backboard.
Xavier Johnson, 3 for 16 in this game. So the roster makeup of this team was supposed to be, that was one of the concerns with Archie Miller was like, obviously you have a bunch of guys that can't shoot. It looked exactly like this Indiana team we saw tonight. But this team was supposed to be different because you have Xavier Johnson, a transfer who's supposed to be, provide some offense. 3 for 16. You have Trey Galloway.
And one of those 3 was a brick from Galloway that hit the backboard so badly that it bounced right into his hands, and then he got a layup. So, I mean...
that's true. So that's true.
I mean, like, one of those 3... Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of Trey Galloway, this man is a coach's son from Indiana. Mm-hmm. He's 6'4" guard.
Did he not learn how to shoot?
I don't understand it, Tate. This will be infuriating for the rest of my life.
If they showed his high school tape, I'm sure he's like swishing threes and it looks perfect. I don't know what happens.
To have kids from Indiana not be able to shoot when that was literally the only thing I could do at a plus level. That's the only contribution I could ever make to a basketball team. Mm-hmm. And then to watch guys who are miles better basketball players than I am, and they can't do the one thing I can do, it makes me want to pull my hair out. And especially a guy like Trey Galloway. You're a coach. How does that make sense?
Your name is Trey. Get it, Trey.
Trey. And then Miller Kopp is a transfer, Northwestern. He's been MIA since the Syracuse game, which was like very early on in the season.
He came into this game and got an and one for Johnny Davis pretty much on the spot. Yeah. So, I mean, that was not good to see either. So, they're just,
Parker Stewart is another, like Parker Stewart is like the shooter of this team.
He might have had a worse brick than Trey Galloway.
He didn't have a terrible night in a stat per, like if you're a box score person, you check a box score, you'd be like, yeah, Parker Stewart, not that bad. Was he like 2 for 4, 2 for 5, something like that? I don't know. 8 points. It's not that terrible. But if you watch the game, Brad was in his head all night. He was shook all night. I don't know, dude. It's so that's the Indiana part of it. This was the most frustrating loss Indiana's had all season, and they're dead. And if Indiana misses the tournament, I mean, I don't know. I have to call my dad to get his take. Yeah. But I feel like IU fans are like, we don't deserve to be in the tournament. The resume probably deserves to be in the tournament still right now, but like the vibes in Bloomington are at an all-time low. Well, all-time low this season. For the last few seasons, they're not that bad. But like
not that bad.
But for this season, this is an all-time low for the vibes out of Bloomington right
and
now.
To think where we were after, Mike Woodson is smiling, coming off the court against Purdue.
Glitching his face.
like they had just won the national championship. To go from that moment to this, I think that's the real jarring part for Indiana fans because it did feel like it was different. When you beat Purdue, it felt like this is not the Indiana that we've seen the past 3-4 seasons.
To that point, I will say this is still, and this sounds insane because I think like everyone thinks that the expectation of Indiana basketball is that IU fans want Indiana to win national championship every single year. If IU still makes the tournament, Tate, they beat Purdue already. If they still make the tournament, it is a successful season.
Yes.
Like what they were trying to do in year one, which is like
make the
tournament and beat Purdue. That's that's kind of it.
Yes.
So they're still not dead, but they are dead. But are they dead? Are they back? Are they dead?
It just feels like the PR of it all really got hurt tonight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they win this game, then we come on the show and we're like, hey, IU, not just one signature win against your rival.
Right.
Now we got 2 that we can really point to and hang our hat on and say, this is who we are, despite our record in the Big Ten, which is now below 500, which also hurts.
That's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good.
We had a rule we were talking about before that we don't think anyone below 500 should be able to make the tournament.
The older I
in
get,
conference.
The older I get, the more I start to sound like my father. I'm like, how can you make the NCAA tournament if you're below 500 in your conference?
Riddle me that.
I'm like, how does that make sense? Because why you were getting fired up about, was it Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Oklahoma
and Carolina are on the same line. Oklahoma's
same
4-9 in the Big 12, yet they're literally next to Carolina.
Carolina's not as far back as you think in the ACC.
10-4.
Yeah, not as far back as you think.
Number 3. Third. We don't have to talk about it.
Shout out to Wisconsin though. This is IU was up like 20 something, or I don't know if I think it was 20 at Madison the first game they played, and IU choked it away, and Wisconsin came back. So I
and they gave some number that Wisconsin has won however many, maybe in a row, or 20 out of the past 22.
They own Indiana.
Something insane.
They own Indiana.
About Indiana.
Yeah, they own Indiana,
and they took kind of the mojo away from like Indiana basketball. What Wisconsin does with their team and their program. A little bit of juice came from Indiana, and they need to give it back.
That's like kind of the frustrating thing
back.
too. Is like the style of Wisconsin basketball in the last 20 years is Jimmy Chitwood style basketball.
Yeah, Brad Davison.
Yeah, that makes it more frustrating.
And then Brad Davison, to add insult to injury, he dates your best female player of all time and has her wearing a Wisconsin shirt in Assembly Hall. That was insane to me.
You think her?
I'm still not over it.
You thought her cheering for Wisconsin
was egregious.
And
if I was the AD, I would have walked down there. I would have said, "Great to see you tonight," and I would have had an IU shirt, and I would have given it to her. And then I would have gone back to my seat, and I would have waited and see. And then tomorrow morning, I give her a phone call if she didn't put the shirt on, and I'm like, "What's going on here?"
They should have. Her name's like hanging all over the arena.
Are we taking it down?
They should have taken it.
Are we taking it down? We're Hoosiers for life. What would Coach Titus be doing?
Okay.
Not wearing a P on his chest.
I'm trying to think of times because this is a great point.
No way.
My dad.
No way.
This.
Coach Titus is having a Purdue shirt on.
I think
he may have worn it once. He may have worn it once.
I'm trying to think of times in my life I've seen my dad wear a Purdue.
Look, they're young lovers. I'll give them a break for now.
Yeah.
But in 10 years, no way she's wearing a W.
I think that I think it's fair play. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's fine because
it is Valentine's Day.
If she wears it to a women's IU Wisconsin women's game, like if Brad, I don't know.
If Brad goes Joanna Man.
If Brad like gets into coaching, he becomes a women's coach.
Yeah.
And then he coaches at IU. And she, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I think there's a distinction between the school and the program, her program is technically not the men's program. So she's like, I cheer for the other.
She's like, I didn't even like
the men's program. Yeah.
We're
better.
If that was her answer, then I'm back in Irish.
She should have said that. She should have been like, oh, the IU women are ranked like 7th in the country. The IU men suck ass.
Yeah.
I don't support these guys. I support the women. Watch the IU women.
I support winners.
Yeah, I support winners.
Like my fiance. That would be the right answer. And I would be like, hang her jersey up there.
Oh man, Johnny Davis was awesome tonight.
30 points, right?
You got superstar treatment too. How about that on the continuation there late?
Miller Cop.
Yeah. How about that? Does do other guys get that call in the Big Ten? I don't think so.
Brad gets that call. He has such a camaraderie with the officials that he literally made the officials review a play that looked like it was going to be Indiana ball.
That wasn't even controversial. It was so obviously Indiana ball that why are we even going to the monitor? Who in their right mind would even need to take a second look at this?
I was yelling at Brad Davison saying that this was egregious, that we were going to have to wait this long. And then it turns out he was correct, and it was Wisconsin basketball when you slowed it down. I don't know how he saw it.
It was Brad's night through and through.
Yeah.
It was Brad's night.
He likes Assembly Hall. Let's just say that, which I don't like that.
Wisconsin finished on an 8-0 run, dude.
Yeah.
8-0 run. The biggest game for IU all season. This was the biggest game because it's the game in front of them, and this is the game like you're approaching bubble territory. You have a great opportunity.
You're on the bubble now.
They're officially on the bubble. They're officially on the bubble.
I'm on the bubble. I'm not having a fun time. Let me just tell you. Bubble sucks. You don't want to be there. And somehow Oklahoma's right over here. We don't know what they're doing here.
And Syracuse is knocking on the door saying, "Why is this locked? Let me."
A lot of people are
This
saying,
is my house.
I like Virginia Tech. I like somehow like more ACC teams are coming on the bubble. I'm like, what is that?
You look up, there's like an ACC team that's won like 3 straight.
Yeah.
We're not talking enough about Clemson.
Clemson's gonna bubble. Hey there, thanks for watching Titus and Tate. For the full friend of the program experience, subscribe right below and come join us for all things college basketball. The action is heating up. Come join Titus and Tate.